And welcome back to the Call Me Crazy YouTube channel. And welcome back to being weird with me in my garage on mushrooms. I'm Robert, your resident weirdo, and today we're going to be painting that. That is a trickster entity that I've been encountering since early on in my psychonauting career. Actually, probably since the first time doing the old Lay in the Silent Dark, Terrence McKenna style. And yeah, he's been doing something different though. So this is the first time he's actually appeared in this form, right? So uh, we're gonna lay down here. Got the frankincense going. Gonna lay down on the old wool blanket in the in the channeling garage, as it were. We're very high tech and sophisticated here at the Call Me Crazy channel with our techniques. So yeah, I was proud. The camera cut out because I was laying there for God knows how long, completely motionless. And so now I have now popped up, grabbed a yellow canvas that I had prepared for the occasion. It's yellow for no particular reason, but I did not know what color to make the dude. It's sort of an instinctual thing, and then you see the color. Oh, he's hiding in the orange. I remember saying he is hiding in the orange. So, the big deal with this guy and this painting and this whole deal here probably has to be started back all the way with the story of Shivaun. Shivaun's the big eye you see at the very beginning of each Call Me Crazy video in the Call Me Crazy logo. She's the big magenta eyeball, and she is sort of a chaos demon, a chaos muse, the inspiration for the channel. Um, she is my, what you might call, spirit guide, spirit entity that is chosen to follow me around, guide me, do whatever we do here on the channel and elsewhere. And in the painting, you can see her over to the left, the bottom left, the left side. That's the magenta little curly Q deal. She does a tentacle form a lot of times. Just, swirling ribbon like appendages with really no origin or end. But, for the painting, I had to sort of condense that down. But she was in a location with her gaze, if you will. So, this is a battle of sorts, and we reveal. So, what's going on here is that she is looking at him from the left with whatever you want to call it's the spell, the fucking whatever she's doing. She's holding him long enough for me to do what I'm gonna do. So I guess I'm freaking out here. Oh, can't handle the emotion. Trying to think what it looked like. Anyway, so that's me over in the bottom right. Those little eyeballs looking up at him. And yeah, he was trying to get away again because what the bastard likes to do is pop out, freaking stare at you so that you feel guilty or shame about something until you figure out what that is, and then, sit there hating on yourself for a long time until you fix it or whatever it's going to be, right? He ultimately, ultimately, his purpose is to help you look into your own problems and fix them, right? But he's goddamn annoying because he runs away. He doesn't actually speak. He just stares at you. And he wasn't even showing me his true goddamn form the whole time. He would be hide behind what I call his veil, which was like a yellow gold sheet with a crisscross like silver pattern on it with these little dangly gold thingies that I'd just be stuck in the goddamn the echo chambers phase of the mushroom trips. You take a heroic dose, of at least, I don't know how much it is for you guys, but for me it's around, like, it's got to be like 8 grams at least. I hit the echo chamber. You're laying there, and all of a sudden you can hear like your own skull vibrating, and then it starts echoing, and you feel like you're in this bubble about, I don't know, 12 feet, 20 feet big. It kind of depends. But this fucker would hide on the edge of that, right, with his stupid veil, sitting there just taunting me. And most of the time I couldn't even see him. Just knew he was just out of reach of my senses. You know what I mean? There was like a presence there. He was like the first presence I ever felt. So annoying, I knew he was there to do. He did help me a lot of times, but I also wanted to confront him and just, you know what I mean. So, yeah, she's also teaching me, Shivaun here. She's teaching me techniques in order to actually interact with her, in order to sort of control her, corral her, in order for her not to be able to fucking take over my shit, my whole goddamn psyche. All right, so what's going on the bottom right was we have these two lines coming out at almost like a 90 degree. That's if you extend those lines out, you can sort of see like a cage, little dude stuck in like a cage area where those two lines keep him in there. And then you hit him with the gaze, and then he starts crying. Those are those lines that come down because basically we've just humiliated him. He doesn't like to be caught. That's the one thing he really doesn't like. And we finally saw his little coyote face. Because before the one time I saw him before, he sort of hovered just on the edge of my vision as your classic annoying jester character, just doing that whole thing. And I'm like, come on, really, dude, the jester thing, come on. So yeah, we got the classic Coyote Trickster entity visit, and now he visits me from time to time, and it's not so bad. He seems to be maybe on my side a little even more than he was before, so that's good. So what is going on screen now? We have in the background, if you will see the incense. There's a bowl back there. There's a black iron bowl that contains a coal, on top of which there is a little chunk of green frankincense. It's pure green frankincense, uh, and it is awesome. So, why the iron bowl? The iron bowl is because it has a uh, magnetic charge. I mean, everything technically has a magnetic charge, right? Even a frog. But iron obviously has more. So, and yeah, geez, wiping the old face, getting too emotional about this crap. Whoa, geez, whoa, buddy, whoa, take it easy there. That's a little freaky when you get that close to the camera. All right, so why the iron bowl? It's magnetically charged, so the smoke coming out of it is magnetically charged. And why is it on the ground? It is on the ground to actually make it less powerful. I bet you thought I was going to say it's going to make it more powerful, but no. It is actually because being on the ground, that iron bowl is now grounded. Okay, what is it grounded to? It's grounded to the earth. And the earth is a fucking beacon of reality, all right? The earth is one of the most solid fucking things that you can count on to be your friend, to remind you that you are in reality. Just 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 let your leg muscles go limp and your face will hit the ground, and that will remind you that you are in reality. You know what I mean? So, that smoke coming out from the ground is grounded to reality, instead of maybe if we let that smoke come out of a, let's say, glass bowl higher up, something a little more ethereal, right? Air sort of coated, right? That's not going to be as grounded. That is actually more effective, all right, at what? At spiritual security, all right? That pure frankincense, all right? We're not dealing with any of this like hot topic bullshit, all right? This is actual frankincense, sap from trees. Do not use fucking sticks of nonsense. That will not do what it's supposed to do. So, spiritual security. We have now established a bubble around ourselves, right? Of noxious fumes, okay? These spirits in general do not see very well, and apparently they have extremely well tuned senses of smell. So much so that they cannot stand, this is like tear gas to them, okay? So we create ourselves a little bit of a bubble. You'll notice we don't have any candles. We don't have a freaking pentagram, you know, scrawled out on the ground in blood or any of that stuff, right? So my situation here is somewhat open, okay? And that is on purpose, okay? And it's on purpose because we have Shivaun with us. All right. Before, there would be more precautions taken. There'd be candles. There'd be all that other stuff. Okay. But now we have Shivaun with us. We don't need any of that stuff. Well, all we got is the weakened frankincense, so that our spiritual security smoke is now grounded to our reality, and what that does make it weaker, so that the spirits are, floating around, cruising around, maybe spying on what the hell we're doing, causing a ruckus as I do. Uh, they are a little more apt to get maybe a little closer than they would if the smoke was, doing its job a little better. Because we do want to entice things to get a little bit closer to us than they may normally would, right? We do want to speak to these things. So we weaken our security to let the ones in who maybe have a little bit more fortitude to get by our security and in turn deliver their message. All right? So that's the deal with the iron bowl and the frankincense. And yeah, so we used to do the whole candles. We used to have, some what do you call them? The runes. We had some wards. We had all kinds of stuff set up in our room that we used to do this stuff in. Okay, so that shit was a little bit more secure. We had a few knocks here and there, but for the most part, it was secure. But yeah, so this painting you will see is taking a little bit longer than the last ones. That's because this one is, I guess you would call, like, the first one that's a full channeling job here. This is a whole spirit channeling episode. So what I'm doing is actually mostly talking to Shivaun here. You can see I'm working in the bottom right hand corner now, and she's sort of explaining the whole what the hell just happened thing. Because, the first time you do something like this, it's kind of just a big whoosh. You know, it's very instinctual. It's very just in the moment, and it sort of happens. Uh, they 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 allow you to do these things when you're ready, and then generally you'll go back and reflect and learn from these things, but as they're happening, they're generally confusing and overwhelming, right? So she is explaining the whole, like, I was holding them there, and you had to do your little thing to hold him, and then I let go, and then fucking you focused your fucking will on his ass and told him, hey, fucking chill. Yeah, that whole deal. This is very uh none of the spells here are what you might call uh you know well formulated. These are all emotions. These are all wills that are formed in the moment and then cast out. uh will constructs, sometimes we call them, and they're sort of instantly formed and then used in the moment. uh that's kind of the best I can explain it now. I'm sort of still learning about it, to be honest. The reason it took me so long to make this video is that she just explained to me this whole deal like a couple days ago, like what the actual purpose of this was. Oh, that's a good example of what I was talking about. You do the thing with these guys, right? The spirits, the whole thing, and then time will pass. Right? You do one trial. They tell you one lesson. They're like, we're gonna do this thing, and it's gonna be for this, right? We're gonna we're gonna get the trickster. We're gonna finally get that guy. We're gonna hold him. I'm gonna teach you some stuff, and we'll get him. Okay? All right. And then you do that, right? And then some time will pass, and then she goes, yeah, that whole thing about the trickster thing. You remember that? Remember the little eyeball things we was talking about? Yeah, you need to use that on me. actually. Because I've been fucking with your goddamn brain, and you need to push back on me. You need to fucking actually fight me and control me, because otherwise, you're I'm gonna get fucking taken over and driven nuts, basically. So yeah, so here we are, and that took place, and then now that's fine, right? So that's one of the fun things with these goddamn spirits and all. The whole thing is that they appear to be not bound to our linear timescape. They may be 4D, four-dimensional beings, if you will, but they do interact with our time, obviously. Um, I don't know if when you exist in 4 dimensions, like, does anything actually happen up there? You might have to sort of view things down here. I don't know, man. I guess they have different realities maybe they can inhabit, but they fuck with ours, I'll tell you that. Uh, and yeah, to them, this has been a running theme for the last 2 years. Wow, getting emotional again there, buddy, huh? Just chill out. Get some tissues. Wipe the nose. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wiping the eyes. Yeah, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. It's good. All right. Yeah, keep painting. All right. God, what was I talking about? Yeah, these 4D little chess moves that these entities seem to make. It's definitely not the first time that I've basically been tapped on the shoulder, weeks, months later, and been like, "Hey, remember that thing? It's actually for this thing you're doing now. Uh, okay, bye." And I was like, "Whoa, god damn it, dude!" Like literally every time this happens, it's like this constant level up thing, and yeah, that's another thing these guys do. They do these tests. So this is sort of one of those tests, and then they go back and then yeah, they recontextualize the test and then test you again. So that's kind of a reoccurring process. So, what is going on with our boy on screen? He looks a little tired. He looks a little shaky there, dude. Does look pretty happy with his work. Oh, I think we might be done, folks. That's good, because our boy looks like he needs a break. You need to wipe your nose there, dude? Yeah, yeah. Let's wipe the eyes. Let's take a little break. Maybe get some pants on, actually. Maybe next time get some pants on, dude. Nah, that's probably not gonna happen. Uh, maybe in the winter, but definitely not now. Oh, and by the way, the next videos that I film are not gonna be on the Ring Cam. We're gonna use an actual camera. So that'll be good. So yeah. Next video I think is gonna be a shorter one, because this is kind of a doozy, guys. Jeez. Next video is gonna be about scrying. Uh, you know, just found out about that word. I've heard that word obviously before, but I just actually looked it up. And apparently I've been doing it for a long time. So I'll explain what that is. Uh, all that kind of stuff. Kind of goes along with my don't read too much principle. If you guys read too many books, you're going to get influenced by them, and your ideas are going to get polluted by them, and you're gonna want to channel stuff, but what you're gonna end up channeling is a bunch of nonsense from all the books you've been reading. So there's this guy Schopenhauer, right? He's a German philosopher. I think he's German. He's like a philosopher, and one of his things is said, "Hey, don't read too much, or that exact thing is gonna happen. Your thoughts are not gonna be your own thoughts. Your actions and your wants and desires are not even your own wants and desires. They've been implanted. So don't read." And you know what? I don't. And I don't really read Schopenhauer either after I read that part. So I think he might appreciate that actually. But so what am I doing here? I think I'll tell you one little secret I do is I prep canvases before like a session. So right now I'm sort of just putting like a wash of a few different colors on the canvas for maybe next time, just kind of as a background, because most of my work is just kind of symbolic in nature, you know, iconography and graphic mostly. So yeah, prep your canvases, take your drugs, meet your spirits, and paint your pictures. I'm Robert for Call Me Crazy. I'll see you next time, weirdos.